Greedy Zebra by Munwe Haditi and Adrian Kenway. Long ago, when all the animals of the forest first chose their furs and skins, Greedy Zebra was too busy eating to claim one for himself. This original and exciting picture book from Kenya tells the story of how the zebra got his stripes. Long, long ago, all the animals in the world were a dull, depressing color. No coats, no horns, no spots, and no stripes. Just dull and dusty. Until one stormy day, in the heart of the leafy forest of Africa, there was a great rumbling in the earth, and all of a sudden, a huge cave appeared in the ground. A few of the animals crept cautiously up to this new and wonderful sight, and when the bravest of them peered into the darkness, he saw something glittering among the rocks. The cave was full of furs and skins, all glossy and new. Stepping inside, he came across horns and tails of countless shapes and sizes, and needles and threads of 1,000 different colors. Trembling with excitement, he rushed out to tell the other animals what he had seen. The news spread far and wide, and soon all the animals were on their way to see the cave, running and jumping and sliding and swinging and slithering through the trees. All that is except one, Greedy Zebra. Greedy Zebra never, ever stopped eating. He certainly wasn't going to give up a single mouthful for a silly old cave of any sort. Lots of time to go visiting caves, mumbled Greedy Zebra, stuffing far too much grass into his bulging mouth. Plenty of time, he said. Soon all the animals in the jungle were gathered at the mouth of the cave, waiting for Elephant to speak. Elephant was the one who knew everything. He coughed pompously and addressed the gathering. "It is time for you all to have coats," he said. "There are all kinds of materials here for which you may choose. You will be issued needles by rabbit, but there is only one needle each, so take good care of it. Now you may go in, but no shoving and pushing, and keep in an orderly line." Meanwhile, Greedy Zebra was still eating. "Munch, munch," he went. "This particular grass is so delicious." He stopped to gape at that beautiful thing in front of him. It couldn't be, but it was Sable the antelope, and she was wearing the most glorious new coat and horns. She was wearing horns. When Greedy Zebra heard that the coat and horns came from the cave, he trotted off as fast as his fat little legs could carry him. But he couldn't resist a leaf here, or a succulent blade of grass there. Oh, and that patch was too good to pass by without one little bite. From time to time, he met another, and another, and yet another. Of the wonderfully clothed animals. Stopping for a last bite, not far from the cave, he watched Leopard finish her sewing. Leopard, as careful as usual, had sewn the most splendid fur coat with spots all over it. Greedy Zebra could not believe his eyes as he watched Leopard wriggle into a perfectly fitting fur. "I shall have spots like that," he said to himself, and he hurried off, eager to reach the cave. But it was a hot day, so he stopped for a cool drink at a stream, and there he came across a patch of the greenest grass he had ever seen. "Delicious," he munched, smacking his chubby lips. the cave, most of the animals were leaving. Only Rhino and Elephant were still cutting their material. They had chosen a very strong gray cloth. Poor old Rhino, who was very short-sighted, had stuck his horns on any old way and was having a terrible time. He was too nervous to ask Elephant for help, because he knew the pompous animal would only make fun of him. Rhino had dropped his needle, and the more frantically he searched, the further into the bushes he kicked it. Finally he put on the baggy coat and shuffled off in a very bad mood. Just then, Greedy Zebra trotted by, with blades of grass bulging from his mouth. "I'll have spots like leopard," he was saying, "and horns like kudu, a mane like lion, and a tail like cheetah. I shall be the finest looking animal in the forest." And at the risk of indigestion, he gave a short gallop into the cave. Then he stopped. Aghast! There was nothing left. No horns, no fine cloth, nothing. Frantically he searched through the cave, but all he could find were a few strips of black material. Forlornly he cut them all to the same size and stitched them together. "It looks very tight," he thought nervously to himself. Being such a very fat zebra, he had a terrible time squeezing into his coat. He pushed, and he grunted, and oohed and ahed, and pop! He was inside it, but it was a tight fit. It was nearly bursting at the seams around his fat tummy. He trotted down to the stream to take a quick bite of a leafy bush, and pop! His coat burst open. Pop, pop, pop! His tubby tummy squeezed through the seams. How the monkeys roared with laughter! To this day, his chubby stomach shines through his coat because he is so greedy. For our Summer Quest 2021 Tails and Tales program events, June 23rd, Tanglewood Nature Center will have real-life animals. June 30th, the All-American Dinosaur Show will have fossils for you to be able to see and hear about. July 7th, get your tail on activity centers. You'll go around to different activities areas and do different fun things. July 14th, Linda Keys returns and works with marionettes. July 21st, Chris Johnson, Tails and Tales Magic Show. And July 26th, Endless Mountain Music Festival, our final day at 1 o'clock.